Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a tutorial for you, so we're going to switch it up from the Get Ready With Me's and we're going to do a tutorial using the new Makeup Forever Let's Gold palette. So this palette was recently released. I don't know that it's made its official release. I stumbled upon it at my local Sephora JCPenney and was able to pick it up. So I have been playing with this quite a bit. I do have a review up if you are interested. If you are kind of like on the fence about this, then check that out. But I kind of just wanted to do a chit chat tutorial with you and do a look with this eyeshadow palette. A lot of people are saying it's nothing you haven't seen before. That's true. It's a lot of earthy tones, so it's going to be another neutral palette. It's just got a little bit of a gold twist to it. So if you're interested in seeing how I came up with this look, if you kind of just want to see how it performs, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so I'm going to use my Fenty primer, my Pro Filter, which y'all know that this is my tried and true these days, and I see myself using this primer for a very long time. Just gonna smooth that. Now, I'm smoothing it on now, but later on we'll add some more and it will just totally make the eyeshadow pop. But for now, we'll put some on and smooth it over because this is gonna be more for my like transition and crease shades. And like I said, then we'll apply more when it comes time for the lid. So, I'm going to start off with the Let's Gold palette by Makeup Forever. You may have already seen my review on this, but here's what it looks like. You've got a whole lot of earthy tones in here. So I'm going to start out with my dark shade, I think. I already put some, is it Highbrow by Benefit on my brow, so I don't have to do it. I don't typically do a brow highlight. I forget a lot of times, so I've been using that so that I can get it done out of the way. And I'm going to start off with the shade Mine right here. And just with like a smaller blending brush. And I'm going to start working that into the crease. I didn't go in yet with like a transition shade because I'm going to go in with this one first. Which sounds a little backwards and is a little weird, but it's been working for me lately and I just like how it works. So just taking this and I'm going to take it in the crease and then to the outer corner like that. So almost kind of like a half circle. I know that sounds weird. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, so you know, one thing I didn't mention to you, the reason I want to take that dark brown out a little bit more is so that I can have a little bit more lid space for the shades that I want to use on the lid and that I really want to show up. So anyways, moving on, I'm taking a fluffier blending brush and now I'm going to put in the transition shade. I know, again, it seems a little bit backwards, but I'm going to use the shade Soil right here. And I'm just going to kind of like place that to where it peeks through just a little bit above that darker shade. So it's almost like I had placed the transition shade down first, but I didn't. So instead of like layering, I'm really just like placing this on top so that it peeks through, which would have been the same result had I have placed this down first and then place the darker one down, because it would have covered most of, obviously, that transition shade. And I just like how that shows up. I like how it kind of peeks through and I don't have to do a lot of the cleanup work because, oh, my transition shade is now gone. It's not showing up. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that it's like I'll probably do this for a while and maybe then move back to, you know, it's nice to try different things and this has been working for me, so. All right, next we are going to go back, like I said, into the Fenty primer. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down directly using the wand. So again, I know if you haven't seen me do this before, it may seem a little strange, but I can't even tell you like how much my eyeshadows have started to just pop like they never have before. And it's just because I think like in doing it this way, you place it down and don't spread it out, and that way it like really has something to grab onto, as opposed to spreading it out and it's still got a tacky base, but it's not like, I don't know, as rich or whatever. Now using a super flat shader brush, this is a BH Cosmetics, I don't know, it just says number 7. I'm gonna go in with the shade Molten. So it's this shade right here. And these shades do have like little, the third row I should say, have little flecks of glitter. So I'm gonna take like a good amount on there. I really packed it on. And then we're gonna start just like patting it down on there. I'm barely swiping because basically I'm laying down the shade on top of that primer. I'm not trying to like sweep away the primer, but you can tell like it goes on really, really rich, just eyeshadow in general. Like very pigmented, and that's just because I'm like basically laying the color over the primer. So I'm gonna take this over here, and you can work it however you want, like if you want to start on the outside, if you want to start on the inside. I kind of just start placing all over. And let's see. I don't think I'm gonna leave like a little space right there in the middle, right there. I'm just gonna leave that because I'm gonna put a lighter shade in there, but we'll do the rest like this. In fact, I kind of wanted to leave that top portion open as well, and I got distracted. Right, now that we've gone in with that, we're gonna go in with the shade Jewelry. This is one of those chrome shades in the second row of the eyeshadow palette. And we're gonna place that in the middle. It's a lighter shade than the one we've already put down, so this will help add like a little bit of just kind of, I hate to say dimension because that's what everybody says, but in essence that's what it is. Let's go in with this eye. So I'll put this in the middle, and I am gonna take it up. And you can do it one of two ways. You can like lay the darker shade all over your lid and then go in on top with the lighter shade. That also looks very, very pretty. But I opted for this way for today. You also kind of, when you do that, you want to use a shade that is going to be kind of like drastically different, because if you use two tones that are too similar, it's all going to look like one shade on the lid. Can't tell you how many times that has happened to me, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It looks like I just slapped one color all over my lid, and you know, and that's it, I'm done. So at this point, we're pretty much done with like the bold shades on the main part of our eyelid. And so you notice like the deepen color, the color I used to help deepen up the look, which was the first shade I used, it's kind of gotten lost in translation. So we're gonna go back and add some of that. And again, it's the shade Mine. I'm going in with just a regular little blending brush. This one's by BH Cosmetics. This palette, I mean, you, again, may have already seen my review, maybe you haven't. This palette, just as an FYI, it's very, very earthy toned, like very earthy toned. And so if you're over the whole neutral / earthy tones, then this is absolutely not for you, because every single look that I have done with this palette has only ever resulted in an earthy type of look. And so, you know, at this point, a lot of people are kind of over it and are ready for something new. But I just want you to be aware that, I mean, it's like, it's kind of a spin on gold eyeshadows, but it's hard to describe. It's got like the goldy tone in a lot of these, like in the greens and in the, not reds, because they're really not, but like pinky tones. It's just, and then like the bottom row has a bunch of like gold specks of glitter, or sparkle, I guess you could say. So it's like a twist on gold shades, but in a very earthy way. We're gonna go back in with the primer, and now we're going to place it where we would want like inner corner pigment. And so again, just using it with the little wand, I'm just going to go in and directly place this like on my little inner corner and almost kind of drag it a little bit down to the lower lash line, just the little beginning portion, and then up a little bit as well. So in essence, you're making like a V, so that you can place down what you want to be your inner corner highlight or whatever it is. So I think what I'm going to use for the inner corner highlight is going to be the shade Precious right here. It's almost like a white with gold flecks, but it has like it's like a white green. So that will look really pretty in the inner corner as a super pop. So I'm getting quite a bit on this little pencil brush. And then all I'm gonna do is just start placing it down. And I pat it down. I really don't swipe it because I'm looking for like ultra pigment. And then what I'll do is I'll just take it up a little bit right here. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna do a wing today. I think I'm just gonna go real close along the lash line and use my Fenty Flyliner just to kind of, you know, I feel weird without liner. Sometimes I'll do it, not all the time. But I'm just gonna go in like with a really skinny line and not wing it out. Next up, I am gonna go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara, and I've already got glue going on my falsies. And then we will come back and do the lower lash line after we do foundation. I just don't want to. It's always, when I do my lower lash line, I have to then be super careful, like with my concealer and stuff. And so this way I don't have to be as careful. So just coating a little bit, coating my lashes just a little bit. I like this mascara very much for a drugstore mascara, but I'm gonna tell you, I am seriously missing my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara very, very much. And I will likely go back to it after this one. The only thing about this one though, it's super like, not liquidy, but it's a very wet mascara, and so I'll put this on my lashes and then like it's time to put my falsies on and my little applicator thingy will get full of mascara because this takes so long to dry, but that's okay. That's okay. No need to complain. So let me go ahead and put on my falsies and I'll be right back. Okay, we've got lashes on. I'm so frustrated because there's like a little black dot right here where the mascara, you know how I told you it stays really wet? It got on there and now I can't get it off because I think it kind of mixed with the glue. Whatever, it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with a couple of high-end products. So my primer is gonna be the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I have to say, like, out of all the primers I've tried ever, this has been and continues to be my very favorite. Nothing tops it. And then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender foundation. So let's just go ahead and start with the primer. This stuff is like, I can't even tell you, it's very smoothing and I don't know, I can't put it into words like exactly how pretty it makes my skin look, but like for example, when we went to Disney back in December, like I always try to really be good about picking out my makeup when we go like on trips, but especially to Disney because we take a ton of pictures for one, and we take like we buy the memory maker, which if you don't know and you are interested in Disney, basically you pay, like if you do it beforehand, it's like $160 and you get all the pictures that they're like, not professional photographers, but the cast members who take pictures. They're all over the parks, and you know, you scan your Magic Band and they collect there, and then when you get home you can download them and everything. You get access to all of them to download and print and put on a CD if you want, which in the long run is really convenient and the picture quality is great. That's a long way to say I really pick out my makeup well for Disney because my makeup shows up very well. Like in the pictures, like you can really see everything. So I try to always be very, you know. Anyways, so I used that primer this last go around and I'm just going to squeeze some out on here. And I don't know, I loved it so, so much. I go in with this foundation with my finger, honestly, because in using my beauty blender to grab foundation and put it on my face, it ends up like, I feel like wasting a lot because I end up needing more pumps than if I just go in with my finger. And so, yeah, I'd rather just do that. I'm going to waste a little bit less, or use a little bit less, I guess. And then, I mean, it's nice and convenient when you don't have to use your finger, then you don't got to clean it all off. But anyways, so yeah, that primer just has made my skin look so smooth. And when I look at pictures now, like our trip pictures, I'm like, wow, my makeup looks so good. So I'm just going to, do what we all do and just spread this foundation across my face. I really, really like this foundation. I know a lot of people, it got like a lot of mixed reviews, and I do know one of the reasons was because of the shade range. Oh, let me get my spray. My makeup goes on so much better when I spray my beauty blender with this Wander Glow Getter Mist spray. But I do know the shade range was an issue, so I don't even know if they ever came out with more. Do y'all know? If y'all know, please comment below. So I'm going to go in with the Born This Way concealer, the multi-use sculpting concealer in Natural Beige. This is, and will be my, unless something super amazing comes out, this will always be my favorite foundation. It's a little bit darker than the foundation, be my favorite concealer. And it's a little bit darker than the foundation that I am wearing, but that's okay. The coverage on this is amazing without making me look cakey, crepey, gross. I don't know. Something about it is just so good, and I love it so much. So now I'm going to go in next with bronzer, and I am using Kylie Cosmetics Tequila Tan. And let's see, what brush do we want to use? I think I'm going to go in with just this bamboo brush by Benefit. Here's what it looks like in case you are wondering. Kylie products are some of my favorites, and I don't know if that's going to be if I'm going to get, flack for that in the comments, but I just very, very much like her products a lot. I would even dare say that hers is like one of my top 5 brands to buy from, just because more often than not, I would say 98% of the time, I am super happy with my purchase. I have been disappointed maybe twice in like a couple of products, and I can probably think of which ones they are, but just all in all, I love her stuff. I don't know, I love the packaging, I love the product inside, it just works well with my skin. I love her products. I don't know what else to say about that. So this bronzer warms up my skin so nicely without looking too orange, too red, too much like I bronzed my skin. It looks very natural, and I love that. So that is that. Next up, I am going to go in with, I feel like I'm forgetting something right now, but anyways, I'm going to go in with the Kylie Wet Set, because those of you who know me know that I very much like to use a cream highlight under my regular highlight. So I'm going to go in with Privacy Please. It's this one right here. I use my finger. And this is actually a very bold highlight in itself. I'm not one for cream highlights on their own, quite frankly. But this one is very, very pretty. Now, I don't like to do too much with my finger because I don't want to like disturb the makeup, but going in with a very light hand, and it's really just to add like the tacky base and like already a little bit of glow so that the powder will pop once I lay it on top. So next I'm going to go in with blush. I am using another Kylie product. This is the Kitten Baby blush, and it looks like this. It's so pretty. Her blushes, this last release of her blushes, bronzers, and then she also had the highlights. I mean, the blushes and bronzers blew my mind. So I have I don't know if it'll already be up by the time I post this video, but have a video coming very soon, if I haven't posted it already, about her latest release of the blushes, bronzers, and highlights. So check that out if you're interested in some of these products. So I feel like the price range, yes, some of it can be a little up there, but it's not as expensive as some of the things you'll find at Sephora, but I feel like you're getting the quality, you know? So a little bit less for amazing product. I mean, look how natural but pretty and flawless it looks. I can't get over it. Every time I use these, I'm like, I love them so much, and I just have not been able to stop using them. So there we go. That's Kitten Baby. And then last but certainly not least, I hope you're going to guess that we're going to go in with another Kylie product, and it's actually going to be one of the highlights. Just going to go in with an Anastasia A23. This is Queen Drip. For those of you worried that it might be a little too dark for you, it's actually not. I almost didn't order it for that reason, and it's not. It's got like a little bit of a creamy pink peach hue, but it's not anything that I wouldn't use, because you know I don't really use or like a dark highlight. But anyway, so these highlights were slightly toned down than what I'm used to from her highlighters. And so I think for that reason I was like, oh. Now, they are by no way, shape, or form disappointing. They're very, very pretty. They're just not what I know from her brand to be like super intense. At least that's what I've experienced. I don't know. Yeah. All right, now we've just got to finish up the lower lash line. So let's just go back into the Let's Gold palette and let's see what we want to use on the lower lash line. I think what I'd like to do is go in with the shade Lavish right here. It's a matte and it's kind of like a purpley mauve shade. And let's go ahead and place that on the lower lash line. And I'm using a little Tarte pencil brush, by the way. Sorry, I'm looking down instead of looking up. Lastly, what I'm going to do on the lower lash line is take that brown shade called Mine, and I'm just going to go again on the lower lash line, just on the very outer portion, to deepen that outer portion up just a little bit. Last but certainly not least, I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs, what are these called exactly? The Highliner Glam Glitter Eye Crayon. This is in the shade Glam Jam. It's like a cranberry shade. It does have glitter in it, so depending if you're a contact lens wearer, I have had issues with my contacts with putting this in the waterline. You may be asking them, why are you putting it in your waterline? Well, because it looks pretty. And I haven't had issues in a little bit. I'm just a little more careful to not take it like super close to my eyeball. All right, guys, let's finish it out. This is the Kylie Cosmetics and Kourtney collab liquid lipstick in the shade French Kiss. And I'm not gonna line my lips. I am just gonna go straight in with this. All right, guys, this is the final look. I feel like that took forever. This is the final look using the Makeup Forever Let's Gold, I almost said liquid gold, Let's Gold eyeshadow palette. This is what we've got going on for today. We're still in the month of February, so kind of wanted to stick with a little bit of like the pinky tones. But this is what we've got. This is what you can create with this eyeshadow palette. I hope you enjoyed. Alright, my friends, that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it easy to follow, and I hope you just found it beneficial if you're kind of intrigued by this eyeshadow palette. That way you are able to make a decision on whether you want to pick it up or just pass on it once it really does launch and release at Sephora, you know, stores, online, that kind of thing. So, again, I hope you found it beneficial. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing if you are new to my channel. I would love to have you as part of this YouTube family. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very, very soon in the next video. Just remember, guys, Jesus loves you and so do I. I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye, everybody.